And so we are at the championship bout, folks, and we are in Marshfield High School, home of the Marshfield Pirates, but it won't be the Pirates playing today as Astoria beat them last night to take on your Philomath Warriors here in the championship game at the 20th annual South Coast Holiday Tournament. Astoria has got some shooters, and they used that to will their way over Crook County in a back and forth battle that spanned over a long stretch, but they were ultimately able to take on and get over the Cowboys 41-40 in their opening game. And then last night they defeated Marshfield by quite a good margin, 44-36. They were able to take care of the Pirates on their home floor. While Philomath, on the other hand, it was a rough stretch coming into this tournament, coming off a 3-game skid, but they were able to evaporate that losing skid and get back on the right foot after they defeated Mazama over at the junior high just down the road, 32-27, to snap their losing ways. And then they got a big win yesterday to boost their confidence coming into today. 36-31, they defeated the 5A Redmond Panthers. And we'll take a moment to sing the national anthem, and I will be right back.
And now, let's meet the starters from the designated visiting team, the Astoria Ladyfish.
And we are back from the national anthem. Gladly done. And so, scouting the floor, we will have the Philomath Warriors and the Astoria fishermen, and you could say fisherwomen in this case, scouting the floor for Astoria. It'll be the junior guard, Avery Biederman, alongside a fellow guard, but this time a sophomore, number 4, Talia Huber. Another guard coming as a junior, Madeline Young. And number 22, another guard, a sophomore, number 22, Shelby Bruni. And rounding off the starting lineup is number 35, Madeline Dundas. But their best player, who won the three-point shooting contest, was Madeline Young, that guard, number 12. She is lethal, and she has a potent shot that was ever so evident in the three-point contest yesterday, where she went off and defeated her opponents by a wide margin, and it wasn't even close. And so we'll see how the Warriors choose to combat that with their starting lineup. That includes Zoe Howard, a freshman standout, Emily Downisila, another sophomore, and Annika Steen. And rounding off with the senior leaders on this team, Abigail Brown, who takes the floor after back-to-back double-digit games in this tournament, while Tryon comes off a game-high scoring performance yesterday against Redmond as the Warriors defeated the Panthers 36-31. She scored 11 points in that one. And we are set for the tip-off as the Warriors break with their clap with the teammates by their side. Brown takes her usual spot at center court, set for the tip. Facing off against Peterson down low. Dundas, rather. Steen will take it up the court for Philomath. He gives it to the right elbow to Tryon. On the far side, it's down Isila swinging her back around. Warriors working their ball movement, trying to set up that spread offense, working through this defense that Marshfield has put on to start it. And they get some good look from Brown right off the bat, striking first, something the Warriors have not done often. Marshfield. Astoria, rather. On the far side corner, working it around is Biederman up to the top of the key where the potent young stands. Dundas gets the ball in the paint and swinging it over to the far side. It's Bruni swinging it back over, popping a pass over to Hubbard, who gets it over to Biederman, who on the shot on the baseline gets it to go. The Warriors faced a heavy full court press from Redmond yesterday. They were saying a similar type look today from the Fishermen. Steen working it over to down Isula, back over to Steen at the top of the key, over to Howard on the edge. Down to Tryon, tries to get a bounce pass into Brown. It's deflected, but back to Tryon. They swing it back around for Steen for three on the near side. It comes up short, trying to get her own rebound as she does so well. She falls to the floor, isn't able to grasp it. Fishermen go the other way. A mid-range shot taken and good for Hubbard. Sophomore guard gets it to go from the right elbow. Steen working it around. Is Tryon with the ball. Gets it to Howard on the near side. With Danisila at the logo. Throws it over to Steen on the far side. Down to Brown in the paint. She loses it. Can't track it, but Steen saves her on the end. Danisila slows it up. Gets it to Howard on the near side. Back over to the top of the key. To Brown at the right elbow. Over to Howard. Working in the paint. She throws up and under. It rolls off the right side of the rim. And it will stay with Philomath off the hands of Astoria. Appeared to come off Shelby Bruni. Steen looking for the inbound on the near side. Throws it over the top to Howard on the near side as well. Danisila throwing it over to Steen. Back to Danisila over to Howard on the far side. She gets it to Brown on the baseline. And Brown tries to get it back to Danisila. She does by way of a tip. And Danisila grows into the paint, driving it and spinning it home. Hubbard at the top of the key throws it over to her teammate, who is way off the mark. That was Bruni with the shot. 4-4 ball game, 5:10 left to go in the first quarter. The 20th annual South Coast Holiday Tournament. Warriors looking for their second consecutive tournament championship. Howard at the left elbow, swings it out to Danisila, saves it from going out of bounds. Steen at the top of the key, contested heavily by Hubbard. She gets it to Tryon on the left elbow. Back to Steen, gives it up to Howard. The right elbow, Tryon, double teamed, gets it away. Warriors working it around to Danisila on the near side. Back in the paint, good pass and cut from Steen, who's fouled as she shot. She'll go to the free throw line and get her first attempt at some points. Steen, a sophomore guard who has been working through her fair share of issues this year with the turnover problems and has progressively gotten better as the games have gone on. She scores her first 2 points with the second free throw falling of tonight as the Warriors are ahead 6-4. Taking up the floor and is Young, potent shooter. As I've mentioned, she hasn't gotten an open look yet. The Warriors have done a good job contesting her. Her teammates, on the other hand, not the case. As Hubbard gets a chance at the look, it doesn't fall. Goes over the far side of the rim. The Warriors collect the rebound. Now Nishila taking it past the median line. Hands it off to Howard on the near far side. Danisula over to Steen on the near side. A nice cut and inside. Howard gets a good chance at a look. She scrambles for her own rebound, throws it in from the corner, but isn't able to find a teammate as Young takes it up the other way on the steal. In the corner, swinging it around. It's Bruni. Bruni at the right elbow. Gets it back to her teammate, Biederman. Biederman swinging around the arc. She goes around the world and gets in at the paint and isn't able to connect with the finish, but there at a second chance is Dundas. She draws the foul and will go to the line. The foul coming on Tryon. That's her first. First team foul for the Warriors as well. Substitution coming in for Astoria. It'll be Young who will be taking a seat on the bench, while Kaya Lindell, the sophomore guard, coming in for her. Dundas connects on both, tying it back up as the Warriors retake possession. Warriors trying to get through this full court press. Astoria putting on the pressure. Darnisila swinging over to Steen on the far side. Warriors working around the perimeter. Darnisila looking for Brown at the baseline. She's double teamed. Gets it back out. Howard on the near side. Looks for Brown again. But Brown, once again, with good following defenders. Lindell working around, trying to deflect the passes, as they know that Brown is the reckoning force in this offense, as is Young in the other direction. Howard pops a three, and it's good! Howard with the confident shot. Let it fly, and it dropped in. On the far side, it's Hubbard for Astoria, swinging it baseline, and a baseline shot taken by Biederman, and from that same spot, she drops it home. And as I've found throughout this tournament, shooters like to get to their spots, and when they get to those specific spots on the court, they're pretty lethal. They practice there throughout practice, and they are masters from that particular area of the court. And so once they get there, they're pretty much unstoppable due to the consistent amount of reps that they get. Steen on the far side pops a three from a spot she likes to take from. She isn't able to hit it as Astoria goes the other direction. A pump fake on the far side taken by Bruni, who will just hand it off back up top to Hubbard. Hubbard swings it down to the baseline where Lindell is there. Back up top, Bruni driving free throw line. A right elbow shot taken by Dundas. It's into the hands of Steen on the rebound, and she gets tipped away going on the fast break. Lindell tipping it out of bounds for Astoria. Ingrid Olesto will come into the game for Zoe Howard with a nice triple contribution here with just under 1:45 left to play here in the first quarter. Warriors leading 9-8. Olesto with a band confliction on the first game. Comes in now after a solid performance last game on both ends of the floor. She stands and passes to Tryon in the corner, giving it to Brown at the low block. He does her usual post move and gets up and gets to the free throw line where she is often successful. And that is critical for a force where you often have a good mismatch, and with Brown and her size and her skill, using that to her advantage. Undersized opponents often have no other choice except to foul, with their defense not serving them well. So Brown's ability to get to the free throw line and convert is critical to the Warriors' success in being able to get to scoring well. Substitution coming in for Biederman. It'll be the senior guard, one of the few seniors on this roster, Callie Peterson. Brown hits both of the free throws. Warriors with a 3-point lead, just under 90 seconds left in the first. Popping a three from the far side and striking it in. Maitland Young, a 3-point champion, gets her first triple of the night. Now Nisila on the far side gets it to Tryon in the corner. Warriors swinging around the baseline. Tryon gets to their corner spot again. As the Warrior guards swing it around, down Nisila pops a three and drops it through. Danisila with a few threes throughout this tournament. Connects there. Astoria has the ball. It's Dundas who handing it off. Throwing it to the backside is Bruni. At the free throw line, Peterson swings it out to Lindell. Back it over to Bruni. And off the foot of Peterson. She recollects it. And in a near side corner three taken by Lindell. It doesn't fall, but over the rim it goes and into the hands of Dundas. She collects the rebound. A foul called on the floor, though. The foul coming on Steen. That's her second team foul as well. 15 seconds left on the clock here in the first. Astoria needs a three to tie. Bruni driving on Halesto at the left elbow, swings it out to Young. Into the corner, Lindell takes a mid-range jumper after a pump fake, goes over the rim. Danisila collects the rebound. Just 2 seconds left, and the Warriors decide not to take a shot. Not much of a chance, as probability would say. But the Warriors in front after 1 quarter of play, 14-11. They lead over the Astoria Fishermen here at Marshfield High School at the 20th annual South Coast Holiday Tournament. Solid performance from each of the two teams, with both of their shooters coming out to play. And Zoe Howard, who has been a very much expected player to come into this Philomath varsity roster after a solid performance throughout her middle school career, playing basketball pretty much year-round. And she has struggled to find rhythm from beyond the arc and mainly has found her success in the paint in the mid-range, but gets a nice, confident three, and it was cool to see her take that one early in the first quarter. That really stuck. And then Emily Danisila, a freshman, as usual, getting it going from beyond the arc. She has a nice stroke from there. So the Warriors in a good position, also getting Abigail Brown involved. It's the key to their success, getting their bigs going down low, and especially also Annika Tryon getting involved in there in addition to Brown. New substitution coming in for the Warriors, a young sophomore, Aspen Russell, who Coach Silva brought her down for this tournament specifically, and she's contributed well, especially on the defensive end of the floor, where she plays at the top as the top defender in the 1-3-1 zone that the Warriors play. A baseline mid-range jumper is taken, and it rattles in for Dundas. Her first 2 points of the game. Halesto swinging it around to Tryon, over to the far side to Danisila, back over to Russell on the near side. Throws it to Lesto on the baseline. She throws it back out to Russell. Danisila circling around the perimeter. She crosses over on her defender. It's Lindell guarding her. Russell in some trouble, gives it over to back to Danisila. Lesto guarded heavily by Astoria defender. It is Bruni who comes up with the takeaway and is fouled by Brown as she was trying to grasp the ball. So the foul not coming on Brown came on Halesto, who was also in on the action. It's Halesto's first. Lindell wearing the purple jersey, not in representation of Marshfield, who Astoria beat yesterday. Rather, it's Astoria, the northwest part of Oregon, in that corner. Three-point champion Young misses the shot from the mid-range. Danisila taking it up for the Warriors, nearly had an over and back after stepping on the line. She doesn't get called for it, and now is stripped away of the ball by Lindell, who's been playing terrific defense on Danisila, limiting what she can do. Danisila crosses over, gives it up to Halesto on the near side, and Brown at the free throw line tries to dish it in to Tryon, who is unable to get it to go. It falls short of the rim. Young crosses over on Russell, playing good defense here. Young, a young defender playing on a player who is young in her name. Substitution coming in for the Fishermen. It'll be Lindell subbing out and Biederman checking back in. 6:18 left. Warriors with the 1 point advantage, 14-13. Russell guards the inbound. The corner inbound to Hubbard. Driving now, Dundas gets to the rack. It goes up and over off the backboard. And Astoria steps out of bounds while a foul comes down. The foul came on Peterson. That was her first. She'll sub out and go to the bench. While Bruni, who checked out for just briefly, comes back into the game. The Warriors going the other direction with Tryon leading the way. Gives it back to Downisila as the guard. Halesto back to Downisila, over to Russell in the corner on the near side. Gives it up to Brown with the float game, who rolls over to the right side of the rim. Halesto with the rebound, and with a wide open three, Downisila shoots. And a three in the key call, I believe, was called. So the Warriors turn it over. A travel call, actually, coming on Downisila. Driving in the paint, Young takes the mid-range floater. It bounces off the right side of the rim, and going for the jump ball, Tryon and Hubbard in on it. It'll stay with the Warriors, keeping possession. Just under 5.5 left to play. Warriors still in front here in the first half. Downisila on the far side. Gives it up to Tryon. Astoria still working in their man-to-man type defense. And Russell fouled on the ground. She's doing a good job of guarding Young, but Young not reciprocating that effort. Howard checks into the game as Halesto contributing some nice efforts on the defensive end, subbing out. Tryon gets the inbound in the corner, gets it to Brown at her usual spot at the left block, throws over to the side of the rim, and Howard comes in and gets fouled and will go to the line and have the opportunity to continue to add to her point total. Howard converts on the first. Young will go in the other direction, but Russell right on her hip, ready for anything that comes her way, as they know she is the most lethal player on this Astoria lineup. She's been held to just one triple today. Astoria swinging it around. They get to Young on the far side, and Russell trailing and falling to the floor. Russell came in pursuit and fouled Young as she was shooting, so she'll go to the free throw line and be able to tack onto her total and potentially tie up this game. Well, the foul came on the ground, so Warriors catch a break there. Russell will come out. Halesto will check right back in after a quick breather. Bruni checks it in to Hubbard. Hubbard at the top of the key, guarded by Downisila in space. Handing it off and driving, it's Bruni. Swinging it back out to Biederman, who gets it in the quarter, guarded by Howard. Swinging it over Hubbard. Gets it to Bruni. Mid-range floater, rolls off her fingers, but is fouled on the forearm. The foul coming on Tryon, her second personal, or first personal. The 6th-team foul for Philomath. One away from putting Astoria in bonus. Bruni hits both her free throws. So they're back within one. The Warriors go the other way with Halesto in the paint, throwing one off the backboard. Doesn't fall. Taking it the other direction. Swinging it out to Hubbard. In the corner, swinging it out to Bruni for three. Off the back iron. Going up for the rebound and getting fouled as she does is Dundas. So the foul came on the ground as she was coming down with the rebound rather than the second attempt at the shot. So she'll just shoot 1 and 1. Foul on Abigail Brown, her first. Shot goes off the right side into the hands of Brown, who collects it. Giving it to Danisila as Astoria shifts to a full court press. The Warriors try to work through it and get it to Howard, who isn't able to collect it on the near sideline, and thus they'll turn it over. With just under 4 minutes left to play here in the first half, the Warriors still in front by a slim 16-15. I think Coach Silva came into this one knowing it was going to be a tight battle. Bruni on the edge. Jab steps, drives inside in the paint, throws it back door for the shot by Dundas. It rattles in, goes off the back iron, and back into the hoop. Astoria reclaims the lead after trailing for a majority of this first half. Brown tries to get Philomath right back in front by dishing it in to Holesto. Holesto isn't able to finish it off as Bernie takes it the other way. Coming around is Dundas, who gets in the paint but is stripped away by Brown on the block. Howard giving it up to Daunisila at the midcourt. Daunisila circling the arc, and Coach Silva will burn his first time out. And first time out for either team today. Warriors will look to finish off this half strong, maybe build up some cushion, and try and get some offensive momentum built up to go into the locker room with a little bit of energy, and certainly in a good position right now, right? Still neck and neck with Astoria, but it's always good to have that extra cushion and that extra motivation going into the halftime. Really can shift the motive of a game, but as we know, basketball is a game of two halves, and you certainly have to play both of them if you want to come out with the victory. For you can be playing well in one half and not so well in the other, as was made evident by today between the Minnesota Vikings and the Indianapolis Colts, as the Colts were up 33-0 in the first half, and then we saw Matt Ryan be Matt Ryan as he was against the New England Patriots, blowing that 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. He now blew the largest comeback in NFL history. Was up 33-0, ended up losing that one 39-36. What a game. All-time game in that one, and we could be in tune for some all-time games today here at Marshfield High School. The Warriors will take it out of bounds on the near side, with Steen being the inbounder. She inbounds into the corner to Tryon on the near side as the Warriors swing it around. Denanisila back at the top of the key, guarded by Hubbard. Giving it up to Tryon in the far side corner. A good look from the right elbow. Brown isn't able to hit it. It's collected by Young. Young swinging it up the court to Luttrell in the lane. Lifts it up and over the backboard. Steen saves it and gets it back from Holesto, who she passed it into. Steen double teamed in the trap, trying to find an outlet. She finds one in Tryon. Tryon sees that the many defenders of the Astoria were up at the upper part of the court, and so she tried to get to the rack, and she was able to, but got fouled. So she'll have a chance to put the Warriors up again. And Tryon, as I've noticed in her play over the past 3 or so years, as when I was at Philomath High School, she's progressively gotten better in her basketball IQ and awareness of where her teammates are and where she is on the court and where she needs to be. And that has certainly elevated her game into her leadership role that she has now on the team. She drops in both the free throws and comes in at a critical point in the first half as the Warriors take the advantage again. Young working off the screen, swings it to Dundas in the paint, and a wide open look was there for Hubbard. She gets it now, but is contested by Tryon, And a far three taken by Peterson. Strokes that one through. Trying to swing it up to Downisila, but that one was way over the head of her intended target. And so at times that can be a frustrating point in this Philomath team that has some questionable passes at times, but has gotten better as the season has gone along. Another open three look for Astoria, and just bouncing that one is Dundas. Same spot, other side. So building up some momentum as the Warriors were trying to use that timeout to do so. And it looks like Astoria is doing it now, as now the Warriors almost turned it over again after a failed pass attempt. They trail by 5 with just 1:15 left here in the first half. Molesto nearly stripped away by Hubbard. She's able to recover, and Downisila will take it up. Downisila guarded by Hubbard, swings it over to Russell. On the baseline is Tryon, thought about a shot, swings it back around. Downisila working through her double team as Astoria appears to be in a zone type defense. Russell coming off. Warriors trying to find a shot. They're running out of quite a bit of time, and a good open look for Molesto down low, but bounces it too hard off the glass. Astoria takes it up. Hubbard driving on to the rack and is coming into contact with Brown, who got hit a little hard on the drive, but it's called for Tryon, who is in pursuit from the back end. That's her second personal, the Warriors' 8th team foul of this first half. Zoe Howard and Monica Steen coming near the scoreboard. They'll set to check in with just under 30 seconds left here in this first half, and Astoria looking to add to their cushion going into the half. So Warriors not coming out too well out of that timeout that Coach Silva used. Russell and Molesto will switch out with the two, Howard and Steen. And so the foul came on the ground. It was a 1-on-1 shot. It was missed. And now Downisila swinging it up the court. The Warriors go on a nice fast break and able to get it to Howard down low, who puts it home. She's up to 7 points today here in this first half, really having a breakout performance in a championship-type environment. A long-range shot taken, but missed. Coming up short, getting the own rebound. It's Lindell losing it on the third attempt at the rebound. Steen collects it. So while there was a 5-point advantage at one point there for Astoria, the Warriors close it in and shift it to just 2. They do trail, though, 20-22. They won the first quarter, trailing by just a little bit here in the second. And will look to try and continue to use their weapons and their young weapons specifically in Downisila and Howard. Howard leading the Warriors right now with the point total. So should be an interesting second half with 16 minutes away from Philomath possibly claiming their second consecutive South Coast Holiday Tournament title. We'll be back in a moment here on the Blake Steak live stream from Marshfield High School. So the Warriors have yet to return to the floor. They might experience a delay of game. Now here they come out of the locker room. They sprint onto the floor, and it was a little late return, and definitely a lot discussed in the locker room as they are trying to claim a victory in this championship game. So they come back with their water bottles in hand. Astoria already ready on the floor, with the lineup being Bruni, who's taking it out of bounds, while Hubbard alongside Biederman and the rest of the starting crew, scouted by Young, three-point shooting champion who has been held to a low total tonight, and Dundas, who has hit 2 threes in this game, was not expecting to do so. So play resumes here in Marshfield High School. The Warriors trailing by 2. Astoria starts with it. Dundas, it was Bruni instead, drove to the rack. She missed. Bruni will take it out of bounds. She inbounds, and it's taken up by Dundas. Swinging it around. They get it to Biederman. Back over cross court to Bruni. Bruni throwing it back cross court to Biederman. Back to Bruni on the near side. She throws up a 3. It comes up short. It's scuffle for the ball. Brown loses it. Another shot by Bruni, and this one goes through. Bruni and Young, the two players the Warriors have to look out for, and they turn it over. The turnover issues from the first half continuing to prolong them in the second half. Bruni driving baseline, and just tipping it away is Daunisila. Could have nearly been an over and back had Daunisila had not touched it. Caught in the paint, swinging it up back to Bruni from Young. Bruni one-on-one with Tryon. She drives to the left side, swings it in the corner to Biederman, wrapping around her defenders and trying to bounce pass it over to Hubbard. It just rolls out of bounds, and the Warriors will get a chance at offense, try and redo it from that turnover. Staying in the zone defense that they ended the half with, Astoria is. Warriors trying to work through it up the court. Steen throwing the pass, recovers and throws it inside. Brown goes up for the layup with her left hand. It doesn't fall through, and you can hear Coach Silva down on the floor saying box out. The Warriors need to box out and try and get those offensive rebounds, doing a good job on the offensive end. So looking to try and continue to keep up that pace. Brown receives the ball in the corner. Howard gets it and immediately pitches it up into Steen. She gets it back at the right elbow, giving it back up to Daunisila at the top of the floor, and they'll reset. Daunisila over the top pass to Howard on the baseline. Pump fakes. Hands it back to Daunisila, who's trapped by the 2-3 zone that Astoria is using, and it's taken up the other way. Taking it to the rack is Hubbard. She lays it home. Astoria on a 5-0 run to start this third quarter. Warriors now down by 7. Daunisila on the near side. Throws it inside to Howard. Thought she had a chance at getting it, but just tipping it out of her hands is Dundas. Warriors with 5 turnovers over the course of that end of that third quarter, and now the start of the third. Dundas. Hubbard handing it off to Bruni, whose shot goes off the back iron into the hands of Tryon. Daunisila driving right, throws it to Howard in the corner. Could have shot a 3, decided not to. Swings it over to Steen. Daunisila driving and receding north-south. She works. Howard on the far side tries to get into Brown, and Brown is fouled on the ground. Foul coming on number 22. That's on Bruni. That's her third personal foul, but she will not check out, but Hubbard will. And coming into the game is Kyle Lindell. Steen looking to inbound to Brown. She throws it over the top of her as Biederman takes it up. And a bullet pass inside. Going up for the layup is Dundas, and a jump ball was called. Interesting there. Just able to get a grip on it was Brown. Brown swinging it into down the court as Tryon inbounds it. Tryon swinging it up the floor to Steen, who rises up and grabs it out of the air as a football player would. Now Nisula at the top of the key, just under 5 minutes left. Warriors still down by 7. Still looking for their first points of the second half. Steen on the far side, dishes inside to Howard. Works at the left side block. Swings it out to Steen for 3. Had a good arc, but came up short. As it rolls out into the left corner, Steen goes to retrieve it. Howard will check out. Halesto into the game. Taking it up the far side, it's Bruni, one of the two shooters that the Warriors got to look out for. She drives to the rack. In the mid-range, she floats up one off her fingertips. It rolls off the left side of the rim. Danisula slinging it up the floor. The Warriors going a little too fast and just out of the hands of Steen. Comes off her fingertips. Warriors still with plenty of time. Still 12 minutes left to play here in this game. Bruni hands it off to Biederman. Biederman back to Bruni. Bruni looking into Young, but she keeps it. Drives, floats one up, and in through the net. Intercepted pass coming by Biederman. She tries to throw it to Lindell in the paint. Goes off her fingertips. Steen with another turnover. Astoria really putting on this full court pressure. The Warriors feeling it. And Steen, another risky pass. She is able to find Daunisula, and at the low block, Halesto unable to get it done. Lindell goes fast break, hands it off to Bruni, and throws it over the top of her head and over the head of Dundas in the low paint. Steen trying to get it to Daunisula, and Lindell takes it and throws it into Bruni, who is fouled by Halesto in pursuit. It's the Warriors' first team foul of the half, and Halesto's second. And so Steen just got to take a little bit more time and kind of think where she's throwing the ball and not be so anticipating. So she'll check out and probably discuss with Coach Silva what she needs to do differently, as Aspen Russell will check back into the game. Bruni hits both free throws, and now Astoria with their largest lead of the game at 10. First double-digit lead for either team. Coach Silva will take a 30-second timeout to try and get his team back on the right track before things get too out of hand.
Following the game, let's go up and director Forkins represented the leading the court at the end of the championship game to recognize the Aspen. I present the trophy of the Great Home and Rifle Booster Club members.
Warriors will start with the ball on Astoria's end. Tryon swings it to the near side to Halesto on the inbound. Give it to Russell, who's swarmed by Astoria defenders. Daunisula circling the arc. She gives it to Russell on the near far side to Tryon in the corner. Back around to Daunisula at the top of the key. They're swinging Tryon on the down low. She's at the baseline, had a chance at a jumper, pump faked, and Russell on the far side gives it to Tryon. Shoots a three this time, takes it, It doesn't hit as it falls short of the rim. Bruni swinging it up from half court in the paint, taking the shot. Dundas misses, but on the rebound and giving it a chance at the second ever, Peterson connects with Dundas, who puts it home. Warriors have got to get some offense going. Have simply just not been able to hit their shots nor find any shots for that matter, as risky passes have cost them. A new substitution, Mika Boynton into the game, comes up with the ball, but it's a jump ball. Tryon will check out as Abigail Brown comes back into the game. Downisula, thinking she was being subbed out, she'll stay in. Warriors 2 minutes left, trail by 12 in the third quarter. Bruni goes coast to coast, lays it in off the top right corner of the square. Alesto and the rest of the backcourt working through the, try and get past half court. They're unable to get there, and the Warriors turn it over after not being able to cross half court within the 10-second period required. Russell guarding Young. She's limited her damage well. She puts up a shot, and it's over the top of the rim into the hands of Brown. Downisula coming up the near side. She's got pressure on by Hubbard. Lindell guarding her, rather. Circling around the three-point line. At the right elbow, a shot taken by Halesto. It misses. Russell just barely saving it, keeping her feet inside. Downisula with the ball at the top of the key. Astoria's defensive pressure serving them well. Brown goes up for the shot at the low block. She misses, coming up short. Going up the far side, it's Lindell taking it all the way home and missing, but she's fouled in the process as Downisula comes up with her first foul. Warriors now with 2 team fouls here in the second half. Annika Steen set to come back into the game. We'll see. She is a good player when she has her mentality in the right spot. We'll see how the shifted mentality serves her as Downisula checks out after some solid production at the guard and trying to find some looks and get some open looks for her teammates. Another substitution coming in, this time for Astoria. It'll be Lindell checking out, while a new member to the game, Ialia Berdino, one of the 3 seniors on this Astoria roster. Tryon swinging it over to the far side to Russell, who tries to throw it up over the top of Peterson to Brown. Rolls out of bounds off the hands of Peterson. Steen will take it out of bounds. Gets it into Brown on the far side, swinging it over to Russell on the arc. Back to Steen in the corner. But still, Astoria defenders quite literally everywhere that the Warriors try and go. Steen, the inbounder, gets it into Boynton in the corner, but she's immediately defended. Alesto takes a dribble, loses it, swinging it for the corner. Boynton with the mid-range baseline jumper. It bounces off the far side of the rim. Rebounded by Halesto, trying to get it to Brown, and they lose it. Scramble on the floor, a foul called on the floor. The foul comes on the Warriors. It's Halesto. It's Halesto's third personal foul, I believe. Yes, it is. And third team foul for the Warriors. As the third quarter is about to come to an end, just under 10 seconds left. Clock winding down. Biederman with the ball, swinging it out. And back over, having to get a shot off. Dundas just heaves one up. It just rolls out of bounds off the hands of Brown, and the Warriors with a tumultuous third quarter, not putting up a single point, while the Fishermen, on the other hand, outscore the Warriors, putting up a astounding 13 points in that quarter, outscoring the Warriors 13-0 there. And definitely not what the Warriors wanted coming out of the third quarter, and considering that they had extra time in the locker room as they came out of the court a little bit late, you have to question whether it was a funky start, out of rhythm, getting on the floor, not their usual warm up coming out of the locker room, or it was just simply too much to discuss and running through the Warriors' head in the during the halftime discussion. But whatever it may be, the Warriors are going to have to put one heck of a comeback together to pull this one off and try and claim the championship down 15 with just 8 minutes to try and evaporate the deficit. But never say never. If we've learned anything, especially today, the Warriors will start the fourth quarter with possession. Steen and Downisila both in the game. Russell's still in the game as well. Downisila swinging it to Steen. Thought about a shot. She should have taken it. Didn't. Swinging it back to Downisila. Giving it over to Steen. Back to Brown at the left elbow. Back over to Steen. They swing it around. A solid zone defense continuing to be in play for the Fishermen. Steen comes off the screen, rolls inside, and tries to make a, I don't know if that was a pass attempt or she just lost her footing, but either way, a foul will be called on the floor. That coming on Peterson, that's her second. Tryon inbounds. Steen with a corner three on the near side. It bounces off the rim over into the hands of Young. Tries to go quickly up the other way, but catching up is Russell. She turns around for the mid-range jumper fadeaway. It airballs as Tryon gets the rebound off the floor. Steen guarded one-on-one, trying to pass the midcourt line. They get past it with the help of Downisila. Downisila coming off the screen from Tryon. Gets in and around, has a solid look, and finally converts, breaking the Warriors' nearly 9-minute scoring drought. A three. I don't know if they'll call it a three. They won't. The referees signal it to as the feet of Biederman just inside the arc. Tryon swings it up the court from the left elbow. Brown dishes inside, and with the and one shot, Steen able to finish as she falls to the floor. Warriors get a couple of nice baskets to start this fourth quarter, but are going to have to keep it up on the defensive end as well. So Steen with the chance to have a three-point play, a three-person substitution coming in for Astoria. It'll be Dundas, Hubbard, and Lindell, as well as Bruni back into the game. Brown collects the rebound off the missed free throw and puts it back in as the Warriors cut it to 11. Russell guarding well on Hubbard. Bruni coming around, driving left. She swings it up top. Lindell back to Bruni. Thought of pump fakes a shot, spin moves, and tries to bounce it off the glass. But rising up, getting the rebound, falling to the floor. Steen does, and Downisila gets the ball on the floor. Loose ball, she swings it up to Steen, who nearly falls, but is fouled as she drove to the rack. And she'll go to the line as a foul coming on the shot. The foul coming on Hubbard. Steen converts the first free throw. Now, with a chance to make it a single possession game if she puts this one in. She does. Warriors back within 9. Bruni coming off the screen, settles at the left elbow, swings it out to Lindell. Lindell wrapping around, she gives it off to Hubbard. Hubbard, guarded by Russell, gives it up. They give it back to Bruni on the near side. Back over to Hubbard, driving. Flow game blocked away by Brown. And a second chance effort taken by Lindell. She misses off the rim. It goes, and she comes down with the rebound. But a foul called on the floor. The foul comes on a rare foul coming on Russell. Has stayed fairly clean throughout this tournament. But her third personal foul today. The quick inbound goes into Lindell, who takes the shot. She misses. A scramble down on the floor. The officials yet to make a signal. The jump ball called. It'll go in the favor of the Warriors. Steen collects the inbound, swinging it back over to Russell. Keeps her feet, gives it to Tryon, working past the midcourt. She nearly falls, gets it to Brown, inside to Steen, isn't able to put it home. On the second chance, Tryon shoots, and another foul on the shot. Astoria with quite a few fouls here on the shot, here at the low block, able to send Philomath to the line, and certainly Coach Silva working with them in practice on their free throw shooting. The Warriors, as many championship teams, strive to be good free throw shooters. That one from Tryon just nearly falling, but it rolls off the left side as the bounce doesn't go their way. She swishes the second. Astoria with Rooney at the top, guarded by Russell, putting on the pressure. The Warriors in the 1-3-1 trap. Lindell tries to get it to the corner. Steen deflects, but it collected by Hubbard. Giving it back. It's Bruni with the ball. Russell playing a solid defender throughout the game. Has had to guard it various roles. Steen with the block at the low. And denying Dundas, who tried to get that jump shot to fall. Peterson will check in for the inbounder, Bruni. She will be the inbounder. Throws it over the top to Hubbard. Crosses over. No look pass to Lindell for three. It bounces off the right side. Tryon going up for the rebound. Scrambles to the corner. Fighting for it with Dundas. And winning it as Dundas kicks it out of bounds. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. The Warriors trailing 29-37. Downisila with the ball. Gets it to Brown, who's stripped away by Lindell, taking it up the court. She swings it over the top, trying to get it on the fast break, nearly saving it, but throwing it over past the half court. Hubbard does. So just a little too strong of a pass from Lindell on that one. Steen inbounds into the corner to Tryon on the near side. Back over to Steen, down Eastil at the top of the key. Just had a chance at a shot before being closed out by defenders. Brown bouncing it back out to Steen. Steen rolling around the defenders to Downisila. She's got a chance, and she puts it through. Emily Downisila with the critical three. Her second of the game in the first of the second half. Gets the Warriors back within 5. Dundas, the inbounder. That last foul came on Steen, her third personal foul. Dundas, inbounds to Lindell, and denied at the rim. It's Peterson who's blocked. Steen coming the other way. On the fast break, she drives it in. And the officials, with his fist in the air, doesn't know which direction to go. He goes in opposition of the Warriors, and it'll call it a charging foul on Steen. Coach Silva discussing with the officials, as are the other pair of officials discussing on the floor as to what was the call. The official who saw it had his fist up in the air and was looking to his counterparts to see which direction he should play it forward, whether forward or backward. offensively or defensively. So going to the scoring table, these officials will discuss the call. And in my opinion, I think they got it right. I think Steen, with a full head of steam, was going too quickly to the rack, and Lindell was set at the block outside of the restricted area. And it looks like the Warriors will stay with that call, or the officials will stay with that call. The Warriors stay with their 1-3-1. You can hear few Warrior fan views for the Warrior fans that have made the trip down. Taking it up the near side, Young gets it to Peterson, and deflecting it and nearly intercepting it is Tryon, who tips it out of bounds. 3 minutes, 19 left. Warriors 32, Astoria 37. Peterson, the inbounder, looking for an outlet, and she gets one, just wrapping right around, but missing it. Hubbard misses it. Steen takes it the other way. Has to slow it down a little bit. She's double teamed. And a timeout called, rightfully so, by Coach Silva. It was at the chance at a jump ball. That would have gone in favor of Astoria. So Warriors with a chance to make it a one-possession game. Shall they make a three-pointer here? And they certainly have some players who can do just that. Danisila and Steen at times, and potentially if they put Howard back into the game. But it looks like Coach Silva will stay with his same lineup. But some exciting play down the stretch from both sides. Warriors getting some great denials down low, especially with Tryon and Brown, each having a block party respectively. Each team breaks the huddle. Steen will take it out of bounds on the far side. They get it into Tryon. One-on-one, isolation. Brown has it. Bounces it up and in. Taking it up midcourt. Hubbard swings it to Bruni on the far side. Looking for a screen. She wraps around Tryon, handing it off to Hubbard. Crosses over down East. Crosses over again to her right. Swings it on the baseline, thinking about a shot. Was Young. And a timeout taken by Astoria now. So each team has burnt 2 timeouts in this second half. Each team looking for the reset button. Astoria looking to get back on track with their offense, as the Warriors have put up quite a defensive stand, as we have seen at the other end of the floor. With steals, deflections, blocks, they have had it all. Really limited what they can do in this fourth quarter, as Astoria scored just 2 points, while Philomath has put up 14 on a 14-2 run, and an improbable comeback possibly in the making. The inbound pass intended for Hubbard isn't able to get it. Danisila on the far side gets it to Brown. Isolation again at the low block. She puts it through. Warriors cut it to 1 after trailing by 15. 2:23 left. Danisila guarding. Switching. Bruni swings it to Young. Young at the right elbow puts up a mid-range shot. It bounces high, and looking for a rebound, Young collects her own and called for a travel call at the low block. Warriors go the other way. Warriors swinging it around the half court. Have to get past the median line. They do. Tryon swinging it far corner. Steen driving baseline, looking for Brown again. She isn't able to grasp that one that time. Biederman gives it off to Bruni. Bruni at the logo. Hands it off to Hubbard. And playing a little bit of handoff game. trying to maybe draw out some time as the clock goes under 90 seconds. Warriors might be potentially forced to foul here soon enough. They do need just one possession. Young driving. And it doesn't appear Astoria is trying to do much offensively except draw out that clock. Warriors have got to get close and contest their offensive counterparts. Steen does. She steals it and called for a double dribble, unfortunately, for the Warriors. Getting pats on the back from teammates, though. Still lots of time left, 1:08. Anything can happen here down the stretch. Warriors trying to put on some defensive pressure. Russell guarding Young at the top of the key. Russell tries to cross over. It goes off the hook, and Russell forces the turnover. The Warriors go the other way. Tryon stops in her tracks. Tryon gives it up to Brown. To down Isila, swinging it over to Steen. Clock under 50 seconds. Russell in the corner. Takes a very rare shot. Swings it up. It doesn't go. Brown on the second effort. Another third effort. And drops it in! Abigail Brown with the and one gives the Warriors their first lead of the second half. With just over 40 seconds left to play, the Warriors claim the advantage. Brown with a chance to make it a 2-point cushion. Gets it to go. Russell defending. Young trying to find the rack. Denied by Brown. Scramble on the floor. And Young injured down on the hardwood. She's picked up by her teammates. Appears to be all right. 32 seconds left. So a substitution will be made for Astoria. Young will substitute out as Lindell comes in, clearly in frustration, and she claps her hands on the sideline and is clearly frustrated by the outcome of that last play where Brown denied her. Warriors need an inbound, but there's severe pressure by Astoria, the fishermen looking to put it on. Clock going under 30 seconds, possibly need to foul here soon. The Warriors working around down Isila, nearly stolen from. And Philomath calls a timeout. Coach Silva burning one. He still has 2 more left to give. The Warriors not quite in bonus yet to go at the free throw line, but they will. Shall Astoria choose to foul again? And Astoria has put the Warriors in bonus, but the Warriors not quite with Astoria in bonus yet unless they foul, which they shouldn't do unless they get to the line here and they're able to put it through. But what an exciting play down the stretch, especially by Abigail Brown on both ends of the floor, getting it done with the and one shot and that rare shot from Aspen Russell. If that would have gone through, folks, I might have lost my mind. But Abigail Brown able to put it through, able to get it done at the other end of the floor as well. Keep the Warriors in front, still with 22 seconds left to play. And Russell will take a seat, likely for the game, unless this one goes to overtime, God forbid. But Zoe Howard checking in for the Warriors. Zoe Howard in, swings it over to down Isila. Astoria trying to get a foul. Warriors evaporating 10 seconds off the clock, and it's stolen away. A costly pass by Steen once more. And a foul called on the floor. And so Astoria will go to the line with Dundas set to shoot. Make or break free throws or what make the champion. Steen checks out as Celeste checks in. Game on the line. Dundas shoots. Back iron, it doesn't go. But a lane violation. Coming on Abigail Brown, a little too antsy to get the rebound. Warriors have got to play smart here. Dundas with the second chance puts the first one in. Needs one more to tie it up. Dundas' second free throw rattles in as well. Astoria burns their timeout. They still have three more. As Philomath with the lone one left. 9.2 seconds left. We'll see what Coach Silva draws up on his whiteboard that he has down there with his black marker. A brilliant mind that has led the Warriors to championship success here at this high school in a thrilling state championship game last year. Right on this here hardwood, under the lights. A beautiful scene as the Philomath student section right over there. In that right part of the student section, fans tackling Sage Kramer, Abigail Brown, other members of that championship team, and many of them still on this roster here today, looking to capture another championship here at this school, the South Coast Classic Championship, that is. The Warriors break the huddle. 9.2 seconds left. It's a 39-39 ball game. Fisherman with the full court press. Both teams in bonus. A foul would give each team a chance at the free throw line. A full court pass made. The Warriors lose it. Biederman gets it in to Lindell. Throws it over the top. Brown with the ball. Loses it. Tries to get it to Howard. And they run out of time, folks.
We're headed to overtime.
So as I was forbidding, but we shall do it. It's better than a loss to end regulation. The Warriors will continue play as we will here on the Blake's Take live stream. Going into overtime, 39-39. This one down to the wire. 4 minutes up on the clock of additional time. Man, we have a game on our hands, folks. This is a battle. And this has been the greatest I have seen the Warriors play all season long. It has been a great effort by them, putting up one of their better scoring performances all season long. Most well-rounded I've seen from the roster, and talk about an impact play from the underlying pieces of this roster, especially Aspen Russell. What an effort off the bench. She sits on the bench now and will take the floor to start this overtime period. And set to take the overtime period as well for Astoria. It appears to be the same lineup taken by Dundas, along by others Biederman and Bruni, Hubbard, and Lindell. Young will sit on the bench. She went down with the injury late in that fourth quarter as Brown came up with that huge block to keep the Warriors' 2-point advantage, which they needed after those two free throws went through by Dundas. Got to give props where props are due. Dundas with those critical shooting down the stretch. She stands at the tip with Brown. Brown wins the tip. Tryon gets the reception. Downisila with the ball at the top of the key. Gives it to Howard on the near side. Howard back to Downisila. Downisila working on a defender, Lindell. She crosses over, loses the ball as it's intercepted by Biederman. Dishing inside and fouled hard at the rack is Dundas, who will go to the line again. She sunk those two free throws at the end of regulation. Brown coming up with the foul. That's her second personal, so something to keep track of as the personal fouls will not expire in the overtime period. Each team still with their players having to watch out for foul trouble. Dundas sinks the first free throw as they claim the advantage after the Warriors' incredible second half run. They hope it doesn't come up short. 3:37 left. Astoria in front, striking first in this overtime period. And so a foul called and a push on Hubbard. Now Nisila will get her own chance from the stripe. And this is why you shoot free throws at the end of practice, folks. It's It came up so huge for the men yesterday in their game, where the boys shot quite a few free throws in a game that was filled by 44 personal fouls between Junction City and Philomath. Philomath winning that one, and now with their chance at their own championship right here coming up soon against Crook County. But we got a game on our hands right here in front of us. Brown's Downisila's shot misses on her free throw, and a tough shot made on the other end by Bruni. A costly mistake by the Warriors as they once again have a miscommunication with Howard turning it over off the inbound. Clear frustration. Silva looking for a substitution. He gets one. And Ingrid Holesto, and the immaturity of this Philomath roster getting the best of them here in critical moments. The veteran, looting quite a few veterans and from their senior roster last year. Reagan Larson and Sage Kramer leading that effort. Bruni has the ball, gives it to Lindell in the corner. Back at the top, it's Hubbard. Swinging it over to Dundas. Back over to Beardman. Beardman with the ball, swinging it over to Bruni at the top of the key. Guarded by Russell. Playing it back and forth. Clock submerges under 3 minutes. They keep swinging it around. And Holesto gets a little too close on that one. The knees connect between Bruni and Holesto. Holesto and Bruni will go to the line. Holesto picks up her 4th personal foul after checking into the game. And it appears Downisula on the Philomath bench communicating with assistant coach Warren. Heads into the corner trying to catch her breath. Hope she is okay and can potentially return in what little is left in this overtime period. Astoria winning the free throw advantage down the stretch. They lead by 6. Warriors another costly pass. And Coach Silva gained an extra timeout in the overtime period, and he's going to need to use one now, as the Warriors just can't seem to get an inbound. He's really struggling communication-wise and are just kind of throwing it up with a prayer, hoping that their teammates will come down with it. So some costly turnovers coming back to bite them. Warriors coming back to old habits from the start of this season. But a lot can happen in 2 minutes and 49 seconds. The Warriors have to watch out, though. They're one foul away from putting Astoria at the line with 2 chances at the free throw line, and that likely it wouldn't matter considering Astoria's consider it well free throw shooting here down the stretch. Last time Coach Silva took a timeout was late in the 4th quarter, and the Warriors went on a fantastic run to end out that quarter. They reset, they regrooved, and they've been soaring since up until this overtime period where things have not gone their way. Looking to try to come up with a defensive stop. Coach Silva looking for a foul from the team. The shot from Dundas on the baseline misses off the back iron, and the Warriors will take possession as a foul comes on the floor. The foul coming on Dundas, who tried to get her own rebound. Coach Silva making some hand gestures and communicating with his guard, Downisula, the freshman, still gaining some experience and growth. Brown, with a lot of experience and growth, misses the free throw, but the Warriors will keep it. The inbound will come from Downisula. Inbounds to Tryon, gets the quick inbound, gets the shot, it rolls in and out, and they don't get it to go. Dundas comes up with the rebound. She takes it down the far side, near side, in the corner, swinging it up top to Bruni. Warriors will have to potentially foul here. Bruni drives to the rack, swings it to Dundas on the near side. Back up to Hubbard. Hubbard circles around. Lindell on the drive, has space, gets it to Dundas on the baseline, and they're running out quite a bit of clock. 2 minutes left still. Warriors trying to put on the trap. Hubbard and Astoria doesn't seem to want to score quite yet. They still have a 6-point advantage, and Warriors are going to have to send them to the line eventually. And finally, a foul coming, not necessarily intentionally. It comes on Tryon. Tryon's third. Warriors 10th. It's double bonus for Astoria. Bruni sinks the first of 2 to come. Bruni, as she wears 22, goes 2 for 2 at the line. And the Warriors with another costly turnover as they're unable to get it in past the inbound line. And they've hardly been able to cross half court in this overtime period. A disappointing performance to what had been a valiant effort in the second half. Just in this overtime period, have not been able to find the same success. Have not been able to score a single point yet here in this overtime frame. The missed second free throw from Bruni. They come down with it. Lindell. Warriors pass the midcourt line for the rare time in this overtime period. Down Isila trying to get it to Howard at the low block. It's over her head and out of bounds. Another turnover. And Warriors have got to intercept this inbound pass and try and reciprocate what they have done unsuccessfully and try and create some more havoc for Astoria, who's just been working the Warriors at the free throw line and offensively getting those ball movement around. Clock emerges under 90 seconds. Warriors trailing by 9 now. And Coach Silva signaling red, which is code word for foul, intentionally foul. So they do. It'll send Hubbard to the line, and man, Astoria has done well down the stretch at the free throw line, as I've been saying. From the 2 free throws that Dundas had to send, Astoria giving them an extra chance to redeem themselves from a lackluster second half to now here in the overtime period where virtually all their points have come at the stripe. They've done well. They have a double-digit lead with little hope for the Warriors left. Brown gets the Warriors their first points of the OT frame. And Warriors have got to put on some sort of defensive stop because they can't just keep sending Astoria to the line to keep shooting. And plus, you got to consider the fact that their players only have so many fouls left individually as Tryon picks up her 4th personal. Or 5th personal foul. I'm mistaken. So as I was just saying, yeah, Warriors only have so many fouls to give. Tryon will end her tournament there. A solid effort on both ends of the floor, contributing well. One of the leaders of this team will be unable to see it through on the court. We'll have to cheer on from the sideline. Bruni puts through her first free throw as Astoria hits the 50-point mark. Warriors with 41. Russell at the low block. In trouble. Gets it out to Down Isila. Back inside. A good backside cut by Howard. And some good offensive efficiency down the stretch, but it's likely going to be too little too late for Philomath. And Philomath has got to, I'd say, put another defender up top. There's no need to have them back there. You got to guard the other defenders, but they've got to get an inbound takeaway if they want any chance of digging in on this lead, because the free throw line, they're just going to keep racking up points for Astoria as that high arcing free throw shot goes in for Lindell, who's been the main free throw shooter in their OT frame. She misses the second. Halesto comes down with the rebound. Just over 30 seconds left to play. Brown nearly loses it again. A lot of miscommunication going on for the Warriors. Down Isila, double teamed. Gets it to Howard. Howard needs to put up a shot. She gets at the baseline, does one, and was blocked. Scrambled to the floor. Russell and Hubbard called for a jump ball as it'll go in Astoria's way. 19.1 seconds left. Warriors trailing by 8. And senior Ali Todd will come in for Zoe Howard, get some minutes here in the tournament as part of her final year as a Philomath High School participant. And it'll be likely that the Warriors will just let Astoria dribble it out as they claim the championship after 3 consecutive victories. One coming over Crook County, nearly escaping them to be able to have a chance at this championship game, winning 41-40. They beat the host team, and then they beat the defending state champion, Philomath Warriors, and defending champions at this tournament by a final score in a heck of a game, 51-43. Astoria wins it. An impressive tournament for Philomath. Definitely some positive takeaways. Had some of their best performances of the season. Nearly swept it. They broke their 3-game losing streak in their first game here against Mazama. Able to have a solid performance against Redmond yesterday and nearly had it in their fingertips here at the end, but just lost it in the overtime frame. But certainly a good effort as the trophy presentation set to come for Astoria, but I'm sure Philomath will get some respect on the all-tournament team as Marshfield's athletic director stands midcourt set to hand out the awards. But coming up after this, Philomath can potentially not go empty-handed. They do have another chance, and that's the good thing about having 2 solid programs. And the Philomath boys program will get their chance against the Crook County Cowboys with an astounding 7-foot-tall player on their lineup. His name being Austin Maurer. Standing at 7 feet tall, the reigning 3A player of the year, will take on the Warriors. Already has offers from Oregon State as a junior. Will certainly be a focus for the Warriors, as Young was for today for the Warriors. They shut her down well, but didn't necessarily shut down the rest of the Astoria lineup. So the all-tournament teams being announced for the South Coast Classic, South Coast Holiday Classic to be specific. Warriors looking for some recognition there. Warriors had a couple players represented on the all-tournament team for the state tournament last year. Sage Kramer getting first team, while Abigail Brown got second team representation. Warriors got some good representatives there. I expect Brown to be represented on this all-tournament team as well, as she had double-digit performances in each of her games that she played in. Tryon contributing as well solidly with 2 critical performances in each of the last 2 games. And as expected, as I just say her name, Tryon does make the all-tournament team, a first-team member.
From Astoria High School, Shelby Rooney.
And Shelby Bruni, the lethal weapon for Astoria in the championship game, has a part in the first team festivities as well. And a second member for Philomath being honored. It'll be Abigail Brown on the first team.
And the most valuable player of this year's tournament from
And Maitland Young, who was limited in her damage in the championship game, is named the MVP of the tournament and to the all-tournament first team as well. So there you have it, but Philomath and Astoria with equal representation on that first team, and we'll see how the boys wrap up here in a moment. We'll be back right here soon. Tip-off set for 5:45. It'll likely be a little bit later than that, so stay tuned as the overtime period will set a delay on that. But stay tuned. It will be Blake's Take live stream broadcast of the number one ranked Philomath Warriors taking on Cascade Christian here coming up soon. What a game we had in the girls' game. We'll see if the Warriors can pull it out and go 1-for-2 and bring a championship trophy home. Here on the Blake's Take live stream, we'll be right back. Thank you all for tuning in.